So I'm taking forever to get this painting done. I realize that. And I'm probably killing everybody by putting little dribs and drabs of progress on it. That's certainly my own fault. Because I'm afraid of making mistakes. A mistake that I fall into all the time is that, just being intimidated, anxiety about how it's going to go. It's not a knife painting, so I shouldn't worry too much about it. It's easy enough to change as time goes on. So I've decided to bring this road forward and just throw some paint on. Join me if you like. Thanks. You know, I was going to continue this down and curve it off to the left a little bit, but I think what I'm going to do is just obliterate it, because we're kind of coming out of a higher area, stepping down onto the old road or washout or whatever you want to call it. So I'm just going to cut right across. Yeah. There's a blob right here, and it is actually a knot in my cotton canvas. I'm not going to trim it off. I'm just going to saturate it with paint and lay it as flat as I can. It's not going to be a problem. It's just a bit irritating when you're painting, and you will come across this on your canvases. And don't worry about it, because the paint will hold it together. Paint's pretty tough stuff. Oil paint is, that's for sure. Okay. I've got raw umber and burnt sienna here, and I've just added. Well, actually, I've got some alizarin crimson in it as well. But now I've just added a bit of ultramarine blue to go a little bit more purple. As it's fading off onto the edge of the painting, I don't want those colors to be too strong. I must have been a miserable child to raise, because I've changed my mind so many times as this painting has progressed. I can only imagine my mom saying, "Oh, well, I'm like, what do you want? You know, do you want chocolate ice cream or do you want butterscotch?" And I'd probably said, "Well, I don't know. I don't know. Want butterscotch, please? Or could I have some?" You know, and then 2 minutes later, "Actually, I changed my mind. Can I have chocolate?" Yeah, you know, that kind of thing. I still do it. I still do it. Not about the ice cream. Alright, I think I'm pretty happy that I made this decision just to simply go with these colors and continue them, although toning them down as we get towards the bottom of the painting, but to continue them as the theme. You know, it doesn't look so much like a road, but a little bit. It's Impressionism. This stuff is all very allowable. But if it's not, I don't care. You know, really, my final question to anybody would be, do you find the article attractive? Because that's what we're really after. You know, I don't know how much we create beauty as we try to draw attention to the beauty that already exists. It's already been created. We just try to interpret it, and hopefully through the language of painting bring it to the attention of viewers. Okay, let's see. I think I'll leave that for now. We'll make decisions on that one later. Alright. Yeah, I'm going to keep some light showing on this side of the painting. I'm not going to paint the bush right now. I may actually extend that bush further into the painting. But in order to help me make the decision as to how it'll be designed, I'm going to put some light on this grassy knoll here, or rather this berm that the fence posts are sticking out of. I've made it very green. I'm not happy with that. I really should have just, I think, stuck to this yellow ochre, raw umber, white combination. That's what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to go back in that direction. In fact, I'll just turn you off for a second while I do that. Well, a little too light. And I want this, like this, what I'm using right now is yellow ochre, but I'd like it to be a bit green. You know, this paint in this area is still too wet, so I'm not gonna paint over it right now. I'm going to cover this area, but I do want it to be darker. Or a lower chroma, a lower value and chroma. You know, value really is about how white the paint, whatever color you're using. The more white you add, the higher the value of the color is. Chroma is a different story. Chroma is the description of the intensity of the color. Some paints straight out of the tube are a higher chroma than others. All colors vary as you add white to them, not just in value, but in chroma. Some colors will go up in chroma, that being the intensity of the color. Other colors will go down in chroma. It'll lose intensity, even though it goes up in value. You know, I should probably do a video on that using some visual aids maybe at some point. Although, you know, for those of you who are familiar with the color theory, it's not an issue. I don't know. Tell me what you think. We can do color theory. We can do, you know, at some point, elements of design I think are worth visiting, which involve color theory. You know, I won't get too carried away with it because it just becomes frankly silly, given the act of making a painting or creating a painting. Much of it is very intuitive, but it does help to sort of understand how these things work. They are the mechanical machinations of a painting, so. Okay, that's doing okay. I'm going to go all the way up there. I think that was a mistake. I went too late. Okay, we're getting closer. I don't want to keep putting too much design into my strokes because that draws attention away from the strong designs that are, you know, in this area that I really want people to be paying attention to. Okay. Alright. Yeah, I'm trying to darken my strokes. I can't just lay that over top of the old stuff or over the paint strokes that I've already put on, because it just looks like mixed dough. It doesn't look, and it's not a strong, decisive brush stroke if you have to smear dark over light. Light over dark works okay, but dark over light does not. So I'm just going to use my toilet paper trick here and suck a bunch of pigment and most of the oil off of these strokes that I'm probably going to work on later. And because I've put the toilet paper on, it sucked up pigment, but it also sucked up oil. So you have sort of an even spackled texture to paint over. If you already have these directional strokes from the brush hairs, and you cross over them, yeah, things can get a bit messy. You know what I mean? Like you're crossing textures by using the toilet paper or paper towel. As long as you don't end up with a floral pattern on your painting, it just makes it easier to do. I hope this wasn't a waste of time. I just wanted to take you along for that little bit. I haven't painted with you for a while, so keep smiling, people. See ya.